Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, My Sports Gematria. I'm going to be talking about UFC on ESPN 13, this Wednesday's event on July 15th. It's actually going to be taking place on July 16th in Abu Dhabi in the early AM. So I'm going to be using July 16th date numerology instead of July 15th. So the first matchup we have right here is Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Menorah Lazez. I'm pretty sure I pronounced those names wrong, and I apologize. But the first thing that popped out to me was Menorah. This is his 11th fight of his career. It's also his first UFC fight. It's his 11th fight of his career, and it's his first UFC fight, kind of like 11-1. And with the win, Abdul Razak can become 11-1 for an overall record. That's the first thing that popped out to me. Also, with the number 11, when you put in the number 11 in Gematria, we get 63, 27, and 27 in 3 of the 4 base ciphers. Today on the Gregorian has 27 date numerology as well as 63 date numerology. So it hits 2 of those. The word 27 in Gematria sums to 172. Abdul Razak Al San sums to 172. It's a total span of 27 days till his upcoming birthday. This fight is on Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, which sums to 307, the 63rd prime number. Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, which sums to 172. It also sums to 233, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. 233 is the 51st prime number. With the win, Abdul can become 5-1 for UFC, like 51. The word 51 sums to 116 and 35 in 2 of the 4 base ciphers. It being a total span of 27 days till his 35th birthday, and his name not only sums to 172, but also sums to 116. So in this particular fight, I'm liking Abdul as of right now. Let me know if you have anything different in the comments below. This is just what I have for right now. And of course, I'll post my final picks like I always do the day of the fight. But this is just where my head's at. So let's look at the next one. McCann versus Taylor Santos. This is an even fight. I think they're both 115 or minus 115 on Bovada. It's kind of a tricky fight too. We talk about, in the first fight, we talk about date numerology of 27 and 63. 27 pops up in this fight as well. So Gregorian calendar, 27 date numerology. Also 27 date numerology on the Hebrew Civil. So there's 2 different calendars that has 27 on it. 27 sums to 172 in basic English. McCann sums to 172. Of course, we talked about this in the previous fight. Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, 172. Taylor Santos, she's 27 years old. And if she loses, this is her 17th fight, and she can get her second loss in a row. 17-2, like 172. 17th fight, she can get her second loss in a row, like 172. What bucks this right here? And I'll show you something interesting. 27. So 27 sums to 172. It also sums to 125. And McCann sums to 125 and 172. Her opponent can get her second loss in a row in her 17th fight, 17-2. But if McCann loses, she becomes 10-3 for a record. 103, the 27th prime number. So it goes either way with this 27. 27 runs deep in this match, but it can go either way for McCann because she can pick up her 11th win as well. And we already know that 11 sums to 27 in 2 of the 4 base ciphers, as well as 63. Today with 27 and 63 date numerology on the Gregorian, 27 date numerology on the Hebrew Civil. Yas Island, Abu Dhabi sums to 307, the 63rd prime. But I'm still liking Molly McCann even with the 1003 or the 103, the 27th prime. I still think the 11 is at play, and the reason why is the first thing I say is the 13. This is her 13th fight. This being UFC on ESPN 13. If she wins, she becomes 4-1 for a UFC record. 41, the 13th prime number. The word 41 sums to 118. This taking place at UFC Fight Night Cater versus Ige 118. And then the arena is Flash Forum 151. Yas Island, Abu Dhabi 152. Taylor Santos, she comes in with a 15-1 record, and with the loss she'd become 152. So that's why I like Molly McCann. Even though this 103 is here, and it's very dangerous, it's an even split fight, Taylor can take this just as much as Molly can. At this point in time, I'm leaning more towards Molly, specifically because of the 13 and the 41, and then the 151 and the 152 potential. So the third fight is very similar to the first fight. Jimmy Rivera versus Cody Stamann. The underdog Cody, this is his 23rd fight. And the favorite Jimmy can get his 23rd win. So just like the first fight, the underdog Menorah is his 11th fight. And the favorite Abdul can get his 11th win. So Cody Stamann, his 23rd fight. Jimmy Rivera looking for his 23rd win. Jimmy Rivera is 31 years old. The reason 31, 23, and the 23s are in light blue is because they share a number together. 23 sums to 134. And 31 sums to 134. And the reason why I have that marked is because this is UFC Fight Night Cater versus Ige, which sums to 134. It's a total span of 18 days since Jimmy Rivera's 31st birthday. This being Rivera versus Stamann. 61, the 18th prime number. 18 sums to 73. And with the win, Jimmy Rivera can become 7-3 for a UFC record. A total span of 18 days from his 31st birthday. Which shares Gamacho with 23, and he can get his 23rd win and Cody Stamann's 23rd fight. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. This is also Jimmy's 27th fight. 27 on the Gregorian, 27 on the Hebrew, 27 sums to 172. Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, 172. It's like the number 27 is in all of these fights. But as of right now, I'm liking Jimmy, Molly, and Abdul. So let's go to the fourth fight. Much like the other two fights, the underdog Ryan, this is his 17th fight. The favorite Tim can get his 17th win. So this is 3 of 3 that can take place like this. Ryan, his 17th fight, could give Tim his 17th win. Cody, his 23rd fight, can give Jimmy his 23rd win. And Menorah, his 11th fight, can give Abdul his 11th win. So there's 3 of 3 fights that can go down that way. We'll see if all 3 of them do. I'm leaning towards all 3 of them. But for this one, Tim Elliott and Ryan Benoit, it's his 17th fight. You can give Tim his 17th win. This is Tim's 29th fight. 17 sums to 109 as well as 134. 109, the 29th prime number. Tim can get his 17th win in his 29th fight. 17 equals 109, the 29th prime. It being Ryan's 17th fight. 17 sums to 134. This is the UFC Fight Night Cater versus Ige, which sums to 134. 17 sums to 109, the 29th prime number. Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, 109. With the loss, Ryan Benoit would become 10-7. 29 is the 10th prime number. Ryan would stay on 10 wins. 17 is the 7th prime number. He would get his 7th loss and become 107. This fight taking place in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, which sums to 107 and 172. We talk about the 172 in all these fights. And I say that because Ryan Benoit can do something very similar to Taylor Santos. Taylor Santos, this is her 17th fight. She can get her second loss in a row, like 172. Ryan Benoit can do the same thing. This is his 17th fight. He can get his second loss in a row, like 172. Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, 107 and 172. He can become 107 in his 17th fight as he gets his second loss in a row, 172, 107. So I'm leaning towards Tim Elliott, Jimmy Rivera, McCann, and Abdul Razak Hasan. Let me know if you have something different. Comments below. And of course, my final picks will be posted in writing the day of the fight. So this is just where my head's at for right now. Let's look at the last fight. Calvin Kattar versus Dan Ige. It's a total span for Dan Ige. It's a total span of 21 days or total span of 22 days till his 29th fight, or excuse me, his 29th birthday. 21 or total span of 22 days till his 29th birthday. We know this fight's taking place on Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, 109, the 29th prime. Excuse me. But with the win, Calvin Kattar can go from 21 wins to 22 wins of his career. 21 days or total span of 22 days from his opponent's 29th birthday. Going along with the 22, Calvin Kattar would get his second win in a row. He would stay on 2 losses for the UFC, and Dan Ige would get his second loss for the UFC. Calvin Kattar, it's 253 days till his upcoming birthday. 253 is the 22nd triangular number. So we have a couple 22 patterns here for Calvin Kattar getting his 22. But 224, we spell that out. 224 sums to 101, the 26th prime number. This is Calvin Kattar's 26th fight. He can become 224. 224 sums to 101, the 26th prime. He would get his second win in a row. And Dan Ige would end his 6th fight win streak. 2-6, like 26. You can also look at it as like 6-2, like 62. And Calvin Kattar would be 6-2 for UFC. And Dan Ige would be 6-2 for UFC. 6-2, 2-6, 62, 26. Kind of reflections of each other. This is UFC Fight Night, Kattar and Ige, 377, the 14th triangular, no, excuse me, the 14th Fibonacci number. Gregorian Silver has 43 date numerology, the 14th prime number. Kattar versus Ige sums to 43, the 14th prime. Dan Ige can stay on 14 wins as he gets his 3rd loss. 143 sums to 113. Dan Ige can become 143 or 143 on the 113th day of the Hebrew religious calendar. 143 sums to 113. Calvin Kattar was born, or it's not born, but this year his birthday just happened to be on the first day of the first month on the Hebrew religious, which means it's a total span of 113 days since his birthday, it being the 113th day on the Hebrew religious. 143 sums to 113. And then you had the added 43 and the 14. 14 Fibonacci. So I'm liking, so as of right now, I'm liking Calvin Kattar, Tim Elliott, Jimmy Rivera, McCann, and Abdul Razak Hasan. Comment below if you have anything different or if anything you want to add to it. I'll be posting my final picks like I usually do in writing, underlined and italicized. Wednesday, somewhere around 12 or 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, before fight time. So any questions, comments, concerns, leave it below. And thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this helps.